Hip Hop Connects. I'm here with the man CJ.
What's up?
Ethnikroots, how you doing?
Good, bro. Good.
We really appreciate you coming out here. We just had a few questions for you. The first is, can you explain just the whole process of when you were sitting around, you had the idea of Ethnikroots, and then from that time all the way to the time when you sold your first piece of clothing. Could you just explain that process?
Just like how it all started.
Yeah, just like the whole thing.
Well, basically, it's like I used to manage a store, like a retail store, so I always been big on fashion. But I was looking for clothing that would represent the Filipino culture in a positive way. All the shirts I found were kind of like poking fun or sarcastic and stuff, but I wanted it to be kind of urban and kind of something that I could be proud of that would represent the culture well. So I couldn't find it, so I partnered up with my boy and we kind of just created it together.
That's dope. Okay. And speaking more about Filipino culture and everything, and I do agree there's lots of sort of pokey stuff about Filipino culture. And it just seems that there's a lot of depth to your clothing and sort of the vision you had. So can you expand more about sort of the vision you had of your clothing, where you see it going in the future, things like that?
Early on we had an opportunity to see that already. We did the Filipino clothing. We had the idea, and a lot of people bid on it. A lot of people liked it a lot. So outside of Chicago, we got a lot of respect in other cities. In doing that, other cultures would attend these Filipino festivals, and are like, what about my culture? What about this kind of culture, the Spanish culture? So we noticed that we really had a really good idea because they wanted the same concept but representing their culture. So that's where it's coming in depth now. Is we're doing a lot of research on diversifying the brand, getting a better understanding of like for instance, sugar skulls, señorita skull, like things like that, and incorporating that into our shirts. And just being open where everybody else can wear it. It's not just for the Filipino community, it's for everybody.
With clothing, it's a very glamorous industry. That's why a lot of people try to get it, just like music or any other type of, like I said, glamorous type of thing. What were some things you sort of didn't expect when you actually were in the clothing game, and that you completely didn't expect you were going to experience going into it?
I think it's just everything in general. I mean, we started off from scratch. None of us had any experience besides work in retail. So with the designing part, it was the fact that you had consumers that were really passionate or would really read into what your message is. You know what I mean? Because normally it's like you say it, believe me for what I say, that's what it is. But there's some people that would really research it. Or I did an event in California, and I used to do Alibata shirts. Alibata is the first Filipino script, and I had people that knew how to read Alibata. You know what I mean? And then we misspelled one of the words, and that was like a big thing. So now when we design shirts, not only is it like double research, we really put a lot of time into making sure that it's coming correct as well.
There's lots of people that want to get to the clothing game, the fashion game. But it's not that accessible, in particular financially, to sort of make it happen. How did you sort of get your first lineup? Sort of get the funding for that and get things moving financially when you first started going with Ethnikroots?
With mine, it was just the hustle. I was working and I saved money. Not much actually, cost me $500, $1,000. And I printed out, I spent it all on this collection. And I just gambled. I was like, this is what I want to do. I remember printing out my first run and I was screaming in the car, I'm the only one in the world that has this. So it was new at the time, it was like 4 years ago. And I brought it to this Filipino kind of convention event. And people were just loving it, and it sold well. So every time that it sold, what I would do, I would reinvest that money into getting more quantities, higher quantities, so I get a cheaper cost, and then just getting more of the collection so that I have more to sell and more to present. So,
you've been in this game for quite some time. I was wondering if you could just tell the viewers at home one or two pieces of advice that really were sort of light bulbs for you over the last few years for clothing fashion.
This guy has the best questions ever. I would say it's just, just be really passionate. Always remember why you're doing what you're doing. Like it's for the love. Like I did it because I loved what I do and I loved the reaction of somebody else's face loving what I created. You know what I mean? Like, don't like lose sight of that, because there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna learn, and your people's heads get big. You know, you'll lose friends, you'll create great friends. Like, just keep it passionate and keep it real. You know, I hope that's a good answer.
Very great. Could you tell the viewers at home what we could expect from Ethnikroots in the future, in the near future, and some of the contact information the viewers at home want to learn more about the brand?
The brand? Well, with the brand, what we're doing right now is we're working with a lot of new designers. So whatever's currently on the site, we're looking to spice it up a bit, get a little bit more into using the shirt as a really detailed canvas of showcasing detailed artwork, instead of it just being, you know, so simple, because a lot of our line has been simple before. So that's what we're bringing. We're cooking out a whole new collection for the summer, and besides the circuit that we've done in the past of the East Coast, the West Coast, and Canada, we're looking at not diversifying, but expanding that, and hopefully getting more overseas to the UK and hitting up Australia, and yeah, just bringing out the brand, trying to hit it nationwide, worldwide, as much as we can. So, and the contacts is ethnikroots.com. Okay.
Cool. And Ethnikroots will be at May 23rd, Abbey Pub, Chicago Hip Hop Connect's first event. CJ will be there. Thank you, man, for the interview, and we're out.
Thank you very much. Peace.
Tonight you won't be by yourself.